first of all, congratulations on Monster. It is a heavy film, but it is such an important film. I'm curious to know, Jennifer, you mentioned that this story was particularly close to your heart. What did you mean by that? Why is it so close to you?
Honey. Well, whew, I guess it's even more close to home now in contrast to when we filmed it. You
Right.
know, we being black, growing up in where I grew up at, being able to relate from that perspective, being a mom, being having to go to courts and trials, things like that. So it resonates with me for many different reasons. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a real story.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yes. And, I was speaking to Kelvin just a few minutes ago, and he was talking about how many years ago you filmed this. Obviously, it debuted at Sundance in 2018, but to now be premiering to the masses, particularly with the timeliness of it. Jeffrey, if you could just speak to that. Do you feel like the weight, for lack of a better phrase, brings more weight to this film now after the year that we've experienced as a nation?
Yeah, I think, Jennifer has said that, it's perfectly timed now, even though, we made the film 5 years ago, but that it's coming out now is really perfect in some ways, because of what we've gone through for generations, but particularly now, and the hotness of the dialogue around these issues now. And also that we have the opportunity to gather together more through Netflix, really, because we're at home to take this in. It's really, I think, I think it's timely. Yes, it's timely. Always a timely, in some ways, on story. But I think that what differentiates this story is that it's told in a way that examines the humanity of these characters, of Steve, of a young man who's caught up in the system, as well of the characters that he experiences out in the world that maybe lead him down a wrong path. We see their humanity too, and so it allows us to ask questions, I think, about Black masculinity in America today that we rarely really delve into in film in a way that is as healthy as it's done in this film. So I'm glad to be a part of it. I look forward to people seeing it.
Yeah. You're both parents in real life. How does this film speak to the parent in you?
Whew. It scares the parent in.
My son just walked in the room, so he answered that question.
Wait, what did he say?
He just quietly walked through.
Oh.
So that was all he needed to do, just his presence. Yeah. I mean, his presence was with me in making this film. Mm-hmm. And I know Jennifer's, probably feels the same way. We walked into that set and we brought all of that, personal experiences to bear, because that's what it's about. It's a film that, in some ways looks through the eyes of parents, mm-hmm. But it's a message to young people.
Yeah.
And to young Black men particularly. Absolutely. But it's also a message to those who see our young Black men. Mm-hmm. So, that wonderful question, when you see me, what do you, when you look at me, what do you see? Right. A very powerful and poignant question.
Right. Jennifer, I want to ask you about something specifically. You posted on Instagram in front of this amazing mural where you were honored on the South Side of Chicago, where you're from. And I want to quote this directly because I want to get it right. You posted, "Remember, there's more to life than the block you live on. I'm from the same South Side of Chicago. If I can do it, you can do it." That hit me hard, being from the inner city in Toledo, just south of Detroit, and feeling that. I get chills thinking about the first time I read your caption. Can you just speak to that a little bit about what it was like for you growing up, your youth there, and the moment you realized you could move beyond that?
Too often we are kind of like, I don't want to say limited, mm-hmm. but told this what you see is all you have. Mm-hmm. And as a kid growing up on this, I used to sit on the church steps and sing. And so to this day, I sit and think, like, I'm still that same little Black girl sitting on those church steps with no shoes on my feet, just to singing away.
Not to tell
And
about.
yes, honey. Being that young girl, and my grammar school was literally right across the street from my house, you know, so being able, it inspired me, like, wow, they have my mural up. And what's the point of being where you are if you can't help and bless someone else? So to be able to go, I'm like, I want to go autograph that wall. I want to be near that. And then to just let them know, like, just anyone, you know, it's so much more than as far as we can see. You know, it's so much more, whatever you want it to be. If that's what you want, then that's enough. But if just know there are no limits, it's pretty much what it means. And to leave, especially our young Black youth, with that right now, you know, to say, like, honey, we can all do it. We all face difficulties and setbacks, but we could still press on, we could still make it, and positivity should be acknowledged. So it has so many different meanings, but that was the quickest way I could sum it up.
I love it. I love it. And just quickly before I let you go, you mentioned young Black youth. I got to say, I am still recovering from your son singing Hallelujah. It was like 4 years ago.
Wow.
Are we still singing together? How has motherhood changed you? Maybe the most significant way.
Oh, I have the sweetest little baby in the whole wide world. Yes, I do. He inspires me. Like, when he was a baby, I was face his high chair to the view outside of the house because I wanted him to see there's no limits. Wow. And so to this day, and my mother used to teach us, if you think it, you can achieve it. So whatever vision he has, I make a point to help it manifest. And honey, I'm one to come up with some big, bright ideas, but he got me by far beat now. I'd be like, I know who could top this. And they'd be like, you know, that is your child, you know? So to see him growing that way, to know, like, whatever he thinks up, he can achieve it. It can happen. It can manifest. My mother instilled that in me. And so I want to do it for the same for my child and other children as well.
Yes, well, you can tell, and that passion comes through. You're both doing such amazing work. Congratulations on Monster. Thank you so much for your time.